Hey guys, I'm back, and that's not too surprising, or it shouldn't be, because CDPR just did a bit of a live stream on their Twitch channel. Go check out the VOD if you haven't seen it already on there, or wait until it's up on the Gwent YouTube. I presume that'll be up soon, or even now, who knows. And yeah, they announced some really cool changes for Gwent that are coming in. It was a nice surprise, pretty welcome one, and a lot of stuff that has been suggested by the community and just other cool things. And I felt like I'd talk about them, give some thoughts, as I tend to do, because of course I do. Um, but yeah, so let's just jump right into it. We've got leaders coming in January. I believe 5 new ones is what they said, including Meve. That sounds pretty cool. Very, very nice. Some more variety in leaders. And also tying into that, leaders aren't actually going to be based around mulligans anymore, which is a really, really cool change. I think a lot of people have been suggesting that you should probably balance around something else, maybe the leader abilities or whatever, but they've decided that they're going to balance around provisions, or at least try to do that, having some leaders have more provisions to use in their deck, and others having less, depending on the power level of their ability. So that's a really nice change. I think that will, yeah, just make the gameplay a lot more fun and not so obnoxious when you draw all of your witches, or, I use that as the example every time, but when you get punished for having too few mulligans and having to waste them early on in the game, etc. So that is very cool. We're basically going to have the old mulligans back in some form, whether it's 3 mulligans immediately, two and then one, or some other mixture. I don't know exactly what they said about that. I should probably have listened more, but okay, whatever. That's very, very cool. They've also said they're going to change the amount of cards that you're drawing. I think they want to do drawing 1 card in round 2 and drawing 2 cards in round 3, although again, they also mentioned that they're gonna, play around with that, see what happens, see what feels good. So that's cool. And that's another change that I think will work really well. I think drawing 3 cards and then 3 cards has been a bit of a problem. I talked about this all kind of in my last video as well. And yeah, it's just you're drawing too many cards. Like all the long round decks are becoming stronger. Anyway, yeah, we talked about that before. So the reason that's good, yeah, you can go find that if you really want to. So that's a cool change. And there's also some other cool things like faction, challenges. Are they faction challenges? I don't know, whatever they're called. Faction challenges where you pick a side and play for Skirtella monsters or Northern Realms or whatever. They're going to be improved. And then there's also going to be some new seasonal reward tree stuff going on. So that's also very nice. And yeah, just overall, really good stuff being announced. Some really awesome changes that the community, I think, wants to see. And I also just wanted to, I don't want to be too critical, I don't want to be too negative because this is all really awesome stuff. But I do want to just talk about a couple of other things. They also said that a hand limit is going to stay in the game, but instead of burning cards when you draw extra cards over 10, you're instead going to get extra mulligans for every card that you draw over 10, I believe is how it's going to work. And I don't really mind this change. I mean, firstly, I'm a little bit sad that hand limit will still be in the game, but I kind of understand why it's at least not getting changed right now. Maybe it will in the future. I don't know. They're probably going to keep that the same, I guess, because it solves a lot of problems with tempo being too, prevalent. And I know a lot of people who like the current hand limit and think it's good. I still, think it's not great for the game, and I know other people who also don't enjoy it, but yeah, whatever. It looks like that won't change. But this new uh, extra mulligans for the extra cards that you draw over 10, that seems okay, I guess. I don't think it will really have any impact on the game because most of the time that's only going to come into play if you pass very early on in round 1, especially if they're doing the new like card draw system, right? And yeah, I just don't see people doing that because if they pass early on, that means they lose on even effectively. Both players will be on 10 cards, but the other player will win the round, right? So, or however many cards. So, yeah, I don't think this will ever really, be be a thing that matters. Maybe very at very low rank play, it probably is a bit annoying if your cards are getting burned or whatever. So they just thought, well, let's fix that for those maybe newer players who don't quite not know what they're doing with the pass mechanics. I might be just missing something there. I don't really know, but I guess it's hard to conceptualize all of these like little changes at the same time. But I'm pretty sure there's not going to be much impact, at least in the higher levels of play. So yeah, I don't really care about that, but yeah. And then the other thing is, oh god, I've got notes here because my brain is very slow. Yeah, they're also changing the card draw, right? And I just wanted to point out that probably I think having more card draw in round two is better than having more in round three, just because the more you draw in round three, the less effective bleeding becomes, and that kind of shuts down that strategy. I think it's better to have as many options open to you as possible as a player, right? Like whether you want to play a long round two or not, whether you want to kind of I mean, to an extent, maybe dry passing is bad or whatever, and you want to force the player to play into all the rounds. But yeah, I think even if you don't like dry passing, it's better to have more card draw in round two than three because the more cards you have round two, the more likely you are to play it and have the opportunity to play your long round deck and win the long round two, right? If you draw less cards, then why not just go to round three and get more cards? Um, so yeah, I just think if they're gonna go for one card draw then two, that might just be topsy turvy. Like I think they should just do two and one. As I said, they're gonna like mess with it, see how it feels and all that. So I trust that they'll come to the right decision on that one. And you know, you could even have more card draw, I guess, in round two. Maybe draw three into round two is okay, and then one, something like that. Maybe two and two. I don't know. I would like to see one card draw round three. I think that's really nice for bleeding. I mean, you could even put it to zero if you wanted to go crazy, but I don't think that's going to work very well. So, um, yeah, all in all, some really cool changes. Just wanted to keep this video short, I guess. I don't know. I feel like people expect a response from me to all this stuff happening in Gwent, and yeah, I just feel like yeah, pretty good stuff. A little bit gutted that hand limit won't change immediately, but I didn't really expect it to anyway. And yeah, if that comes down the road at some stage, that would make me happy. But I don't think it will. But everything else is yeah, really, 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 really awesome, and it's glad to see that CDPR and the guys, the devs there, are just they know what they're doing, at least to some quite high extent, and yeah, they're very also receptive to feedback. It seems like so. Keep up the great work, guys. Very cool, and I'm excited for the future of Gwent as as should be the standard, I feel like. But maybe not so much after Homecoming immediately. But yeah, we maybe are back on track now. So just a quick video there, and yeah, I hope you guys are also feeling the same as I am. Pretty positive all of a sudden, and yeah, let me know what you think after the video. But anyhow, I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.